Guys, thank you so much for coming on and supporting me today. This is my very first live broadcast from the Cusp of Greatness podcast. Some of you are followers, whichever app you follow or you're listening to right now. Some of you are going to catch this on the replay, but thank you so much for being a part of it. Guys, we made it to 2019. We crossed over. We survived 2018. Some people, it was the best year so far, and you're looking forward to what 2019 has to bring. And for some of you, it didn't go so well, but you're gonna do better in 2019 because you learned from your mistakes. You saw who was who among you. You lost some friends. You gained some new people, and just good things are about to happen for you. So thank you so much for joining. So again, this is the Cusp of Greatness podcast. For those of you, a lot of you already know, I am the host of the Cusp of Greatness podcast. It's something I started in 2018, something I was thinking of in 2016. I don't know why it took me so long to start it, but it is finally here. And this is our very first live broadcast. And as you can see, I have a young lady sitting next to me. She's my first guest, and what better time to bring her on than the first day of 2019? Because for those of you listening on Periscope, you know that my motto for 2018 towards the end was finish strong so that you can start strong. And now we're in 2019, so I'm starting strong, and no better way to start strong than to have Miss Laura MORAÉ here with me. And I'm gonna open up the floor, and we're gonna go into a discussion. You're gonna learn about some of the things that she has going on, some of the things she's been doing. I was so blessed to meet her back in August through SCORE Atlanta, and as a mentor to her, she walked in and she had all these wonderful business ideas. Specifically, one of them I was just like captivated by, and she's gonna be talking to you about that today, and how she got in there. But you know, I want to say thank you as well. I called her, I think it was, or messaged her either Friday or Saturday, and I was like, hey, you want to be my guest? And she didn't even think twice. She was just like, yeah, let's make this happen. And I was like, okay, the first. And then she just took it from there. I love people like this. She took it from there, and she's like, listen, let's go ahead and we're gonna get this done on the pink couch, pink confessions couch. And I want to say thank you especially to Miss Zakia. You can't see her. I'm hoping she's gonna fit in somewhere on the couch a little later on and introduce herself, from Quartz and Rainbows on Instagram. So she made all of this possible for us to even be here, and I'm so thankful to her. Again, you can't see her, she's over there holding up another camera.
Hiding as usual.
Okay. But she's awesome, so thank you so much for making this possible. So guys, my guest here, Laura MORAÉ. I'm so happy that you were able to come on again at such short notice. You didn't think twice about it, you jumped on, and I appreciate you so much. I don't even know, I try to think of like an introduction because you have so much going on, and I'm like, how do I introduce this this young woman to everyone, because she's so awesome. And I'm gonna let her do that. All I'm gonna tell you is this woman is awesome, and I am titling her the CEO of Atlanta. I don't care what anybody else say. That's how I'm gonna introduce her to you, and I'm gonna just have her share a little bit about herself.
I'm Laura MORAÉ, the CEO of Love and Legacy Enterprises, and I am honored to be here. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for viewing right now. I really appreciate it. I am the creator of the VJJ Trainer mobile application, which is a mobile app that is specific for women, and it is out here to get us ready. My motto is a healthy vagina is a happy vagina. And to keep that vagina happy, we have an app coming out that will literally train, teach, educate. You even get a virtual trainer. So we're gonna dive into all this wonderful information. And I am just honored to be here, like I said. And Celeste is the best person that I could have ever met. She's given me so much information, resources. If you guys need to get anything done at SCORE, pick Soletta.
Thank
Check
you.
her box and get an appointment because she's that awesome. So like I said, let's get started. It's really great. Like we got a whole bunch of information we're gonna go over.
Thank you. Now, thank you for that introduction as well. Now, Love and Legacy Enterprises. Can you? This is your business. Something you started. Is it three years ago that you started Love and Legacy? Can you share with us a little bit about exactly what that encompasses, like what's under that umbrella?
Yes, Love and Legacy Enterprises is a company that I developed that is dedicated to holistic living information and betterment of yourself, empowerment of yourself, self-care, which involves mobile apps that we use mobile technology, through our phones. Most of it is going to be through tech. We do have classes and things we'll have later on, but that is for another discussion. Right now we're focusing on the mobile applications. The first mobile application that we're putting out is a line of 3 mobile apps. The first one is for women, second one is for men, third one is for teens. We're going to focus on STD training, education, prevention. We're going to focus on health, meaning what you eat, what you shouldn't eat, your vitamins, your supplements. These are all the things that Love and Legacy wants people to understand that they need to be aware of. We need to be aware of our bodies and we need to be in control of our bodies. And it is our responsibility to know what to do with our bodies. You can't continue to go to the doctors and only get medicine. We need to start taking care at home. And this app and my company was made and developed to help the world. So it won't be just Atlanta, Georgia. We're trying to reach everybody that we possibly can with this app. And Love and Legacy is dedicated to providing the world with what is needed. Instead of just selling things or just being a product-based company, my app is going to be free to download. It comes out in April 2019, and it's going to be wonderful. Like, I think everybody is going to want it. They should have it.
Yes.
They'll know the brand, Love and Legacy. We're going to be out here doing charities. We're going to be setting up all types of campaigns. Our first STD campaign is this month. I want to bring awareness and prevention. So that's basically what we do. We're just going to provide the goodness that lacks out of a lot of companies to everybody.
That's great. Now, when I hear app, the first thing I think of all that techie stuff, and you saw me a while ago, I didn't know how to hold a tripod. I didn't know how to get on Facebook Live, and that was just a bit much for me. So how did you even get into because I think it takes a lot of courage and you got to be brave. At least for me, I have no business creating. I don't know anything about that. How did you what made you think app?
Well, I knew I needed to do something in tech. I have a web development background.
Okay.
And I have no mobile app background at all. But web development gave me sort of the idea or the avenue to say, okay, if I want to go into technology as a woman, what could I do?
Right.
And my son said, Mom, do mobile apps. And then it was the question of what type of mobile app would you put out. And at the time, like I discussed with you, I was sick. I was surviving a terminal disease, cancer, and I didn't know what to do. I was supposed to be, passing away. I wasn't supposed to have a life. And all of the things that I did to get better,
wow,
I decided to put in the app. And it honestly started with my core. Like, it was like because my tummy wasn't well, because I was toxic. Like, my gut was toxic. And what I did was detox myself, and it took 3 years. That's why it took so long. That's why it's taken so long to get this out, because I had to survive that first.
Wow.
And my hair fell out. I mean, it was really bad. So I was able to take that idea from my son, utilize the notes that I had from, surviving this cancer and getting better, and I compiled all of that into this tech. And like you said, it sounds techie, but I just took the information I had and put it down on paper. And then that grew. It changed and changed and changed over time until I got the vajayjay trainer. And that's where we're at today.
That is amazing. So so pretty much this sounds like a birthing to me. Like, not only that a birthing, but you had to go back to self and take care of self first before you can push something out and into the world to say, hey, I'm giving you this. And that was, oh my God, that's amazing. That's an amazing story. Now, you mentioned your son. From what I know of you, I know that you're a mother of 3. So what was that whole, because that sounds like a lot. In business, I always tell people when I'm coaching them or mentoring them, you are your business, especially when if you're just starting out. The trouble that you have are the problems your business, is also going through, because your business is a part of you. So you going through that and creating something like this, and also being a single mom, what was that like for you? How? Because I know I have single mothers who are either on here now or going to be catching the replay on Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, and they want to start businesses too. How were you able to overcome that, and even with sickness, and to decide to, like, I'm going to push all the way through and I'm going to create something? Where in some cases, a lot of people say, you know what, I'm just going to give up at this point. I have no hope. How did you pull through?
Well, you really have to have I'm not going to give up no matter what attitude, like seriously. There was times when I wanted to lay down and I didn't want to get up, and I wanted to just let the sickness take over me. And there was times when I didn't want to get up and do my work for the day. But on those days, I don't know, something in me was talking to me, and it would tell me to get up anyway. It told me to turn on the computer anyway. It told me to write down my notes anyway. And my children, fortunately for me, my children are now grown. So when I started this, they were late teens. So I have a son that's in the military. I have a son that is 20, and I got a daughter that's 18. So it's, my children are grown.
You don't even look like you have
so,
continue.
Yeah, so they're grown. And they were teenagers at the time, graduating high school, my two boys. And it was difficult because they were cutting up. They were acting out. You know how kids are. That's what they do. But in my mind, you can't stop me. And I knew that my children needed motherly love, but I had to get stern on myself and set healthy boundaries. I didn't have self-care. I needed these things. And when I cleansed myself in self-care and I made my mind free, I felt like I was putting something wholesome into my product. It wasn't any negative energy, any residual, bitterness or anything. Like, I was putting pure love,
right,
like a child,
right,
like you said. And as a woman, I turned to other women, guys, and sometimes they would shun me and say I was doing too much. They said that this was stupid. I gotta tell you, don't listen to people when they're telling you not to do something. You just have to do it anyway. And I got into meditation. Spirituality helped me a great deal. I had to get connected to something. I was lost. I was confused. The app was connecting me, but I wasn't connected enough to, like, myself. So meditation, learn yourself, shut a lot of people out.
Yes.
I had to shut a lot of people out. It was hard because there was a lot of people holding me back because they have self-care tactics for themselves. And so it was like a routine of being together, and I had to break the cycle. And that's really what it is. You guys have to break this cycle of what you're doing every day and just do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to open a business and do it. Doesn't matter if you're hurting today, if somebody passed away today. I've had tragic things happen to me in 2018 alone, and I just got up and said, you know what, it doesn't matter, I'm going to keep going.
I'm going to keep pushing through. That is amazing. Guys, I want you to go ahead and make sure that you're sharing this with your audience as well, because I believe that a lot of people can learn from some of the things that she's saying and that she's touching on. Now, Laura, one of the things you just mentioned is, well, while you were going through all of that, talk to me about, because a lot of times we have ideas and we're excited about our ideas despite everything else that's going on, and we have a vision. We don't know where we got it from, but there's something inside of us saying, this is it. I came on, whether you want to call it $1 million idea, $1 billion idea, or $1,000, whatever idea you want to call it, but this is it, and this is going to go somewhere. And so you know it like you know it like you know it. But then when you try to share it with other people, and they might not exactly get your vision. So what would you say, have you experienced that?
Yes.
And what would you say, how were you able to overcome it? Did you just, because I know you said you kind of like shut everybody out. Like, how did you
I recently had a thing happen. It was funny that you brought that up. In August of this year, September, I was dating a guy, and he told me, stop doing your app. He said it's a silly idea.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to go anywhere. You need to just focus on making day-to-day money and go get a regular job and do what women are supposed to do. And I said, what? And it sticks in my mind that this person really literally did not feel that I was doing anything that was worth my time. And there was no vision. There was no connection. It didn't matter. He didn't even want to look at anything that I had, but he had so much to tell me. And I didn't get angry with him. I didn't get bitter with him. I cut him off. That's what I did.
You just got rid of him.
I just got, because I don't need that energy. And I know, because this is my child. See, my children are grown. This is my new baby, like you said. I put all this love, and I have purpose now. And you can't take that shine from me. So if somebody ever comes to you and says, hey, that's a bad idea, or you should be doing this, if you're not able to focus at least 150% of your attention on yourself and your business as much as possible, because you can't do it all the time, then you're not going to build that baby up into a business that you want and you're going to be proud of.
Right.
You can't allow that talk, because you're going to get people on Facebook, Instagram, all that. They're going to tell you, don't do this, don't do that. Then you're going to have all these people who really need you. And when you stop, and believe me, I tested it, and they will email you and they will DM you and ask you, where are you at? So you got to keep going, because now you have a purpose. And I put the responsibility out. I manifested that. So I just had to let that guy go. You got to let people go.
I think, and you know what, I agree with you, and this is something I've spoken about, I've talked about on the podcast before. Sometimes you really have to shut the noise out and get super uber focused on what it is that you know is inside of you that's getting ready to be birthed out. You can't let anybody get in the way of that. You can't let them stop you. But not only that, your tribe will find you once you put yourself out there and get rid of that fear and all these self-limiting beliefs and everything else that's holding you back. You got to get rid of those and go forward, because who is supposed to find you will find you. Who is supposed to support you will support you. And another thing too, I know a lot of people, and this is some of my listeners even, you know, they write me, my family's not supportive, everybody is not gonna support you. Everybody don't even want what you have. So we gotta understand that what we're creating is not necessarily for everybody. Who it is for, it will find them and it will get to them. So one of the things you touched on that I want you to talk about a little bit more, because I know a lot of people don't understand how powerful meditation is, how powerful it is, and how much you just gotta find that quietness so that you can actually hear what's within. So I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit more.
It's very important to find your inner peace. That's the one thing I did not have over the 40 years that I've been on this planet. I never had inner peace. So now that I'm at the age of finding myself, that is the most important thing to me, is having my peace and my spirituality at a calm state. Before I was frazzled, I couldn't get a thought out. I couldn't create the thoughts. And you know, with the entrepreneurial spirit, you'll make all types of companies and businesses and stuff. They don't work out because you don't have the clarity. And without that clarity, you don't have anything. And meditation clears you. Meditation can actually connect you to realms and energy that you've never experienced before. And that's where I get my drive from, is the fact that I know, like, I can feel the energy. Like when I woke up today, I felt it. And I was like, I know, like, I'm good.
Right.
And that's a good feeling, like, to get up every day and know you're good regardless of whatever situation you're in. Like Oprah Winfrey say, live your best life. No matter what you're doing.
And do it now.
Now.
Do it now.
And so meditation, sit down quietly. People are afraid to be alone. You have to sit quietly. It doesn't matter if you have kids, spouse, family, whatever. You have to tell people, look, this is my private, quiet time. And you need to turn everything off, turn the TV, phone, everything off. And focus on your dreams, focus on what you want, channel yourself, like just focus on you. And I promise you, over time, it's gonna develop into something so great and powerful that you're gonna wake up just like us. Like, we hit each other on texts and we barely know each other, but yes. I'm telling you, like she said, the energy sought her out because of me manifesting things and seeking out. I even have it written down, like, I want good people in my life. Yes. I write it down. Zacchaeus talks a lot about writing things down. You have to put it down on paper. You have to believe. And that's how you succeed.
Yes, yes. And you know, it's so funny you mentioned that. And like, I think when I messaged you, was like, oh my God, I was just saying the day before that I wanted
synchronicity.
Exactly. And then here you were. So she thought of it the day before that she, wanted to do something like this. And then the following day I said, hey, do you want to do this? And it just happened like that.
And we're here.
And here we are, like, on the big couch.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So happy.
So, and I'm gonna just turn to some of the
questions.
Sparky from South Africa on Periscope. He said, yes, inner peace is the beginning of being one with your universe. So I definitely, I love that. I agree with that. Peter from New Jersey says, you look great.
Oh, thank you.
I believe she made that comment when she heard that you were 40. that you have grown kids. So that was
Thank you.
Yeah. And someone else says, great program. Thank you guys. Again, share.
Please.
So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know I believe the hardest part when we're creating something and doing business is the mental part. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you can't overcome the mental part, even if you have everything else figured out, if you're being attacked in the mind, then good luck trying to get that out there.
Yeah.
So I think that would be your biggest hurdle. Now, once you got past that, so you got past the mental, you even got past the physical. So what would you say, and then you found the spiritual, what would you say was your hardest part as far as on the business end?
The business end, okay guys, it's gonna be harder than you guys think. Please go to the SBA and score. People really don't think you guys are great, but they are. A lot of people told me also not to utilize the score and the SBA services. So once I got past all of that, I realized funding was an issue.
Yes.
But then I thought, okay, I need to get funding. It wasn't funding, guys. You need support. It's people.
Yes.
When you have money on the brains, that's not going to happen. It's not going to work that way. So when I changed my thinking, because of course nobody's perfect, I'm growing. I don't know how to do everything right now, but I did a meditation and it spoke to me and it said, don't connect to the funding, connect to the people. Give them something that's real.
Yes.
And now, not only because of thanks to you and several other people, like she said, I've manifested all these people, and this year our funding's coming in, the app is getting developed, we're getting ready to have a huge marketing platform, and I'm still not focused on funding. I really want to get the word out. I really want to help people. I really want to show people how to be their best person they can be, no matter how old you are.
Right.
People always ask me, like, why do you look like this? Because I made a conscious decision. I BS you not. I made a conscious decision when I was 10 years old, and I said, I'm going to always be in shape and be healthy. So tell yourself the same thing about yourself and your business. I'm going to get this business, and we're going to be healthy, and we're going to grow strong, and we're going to build healthy relationships. That's how I am able to get out here. And it's an honor for you to say I'm the CEO of Atlanta. Like,
She is the CEO of Atlanta. I'm telling you.
And to meet people like you, but you guys can manifest this. I promise you right now, all the people that are connected, we manifested this. You saw something, you needed to be here, and you're going to tell somebody else. And watch how this all grows.
And it's going to come around full circle.
Yeah,
Full
so
circle.
those hurdles are going to be there. But yeah, money is going to be your problem, but you just can't make that priority. You got to make your business, whatever your brand is, supported by the people.
I agree with that. And, to kind of like go a little further with it and touch on what she said, a lot of times we think money is our number one resource. Yes, we need money to mobilize us and to get us going, but you also need to consider the other resources that you have. A lot of you, I don't know, whatever city you're listening in or from, whatever state, look to and a lot of us, we don't know that these things are out there, and that's why this is why I'm going to be talking about some of them on different episodes and throughout the show. And guys, tap into your local resources. The SBA, the SCORE program, this is how I met her. I'm one of the mentors. If you're listening and you're in the Atlanta region and you have a business that you need help with getting started and getting out there, come and see us downtown Atlanta. Inbox me. If you're on my Periscope, my email is up. Send me a message. We will help you out. We will connect you with the right people. We have a solid team, and we're here to help. Even next week, especially for the women entrepreneurs, next week we have an event, and I'll put more information up on it. We have an event. You guys will get an opportunity to meet this young lady and hopefully hear her speak as well and talk more about what she has going on. Tap into your local resources. They are there. A lot of them are government programs, and they spend, not even that, there's government grants. There's so many resources out there, guys. If you're a small business, get certified. If you're a minority and you have a small business, get your business certified, because there's opportunity. There are billions of dollars even. And again, I don't want to go back to the money part, because you need to tap into the other resources as well. But there are billions of dollars out there that the government has reserved. And if you can just get your business in order, this is the month, January. Really, you should have started getting it in order in 2018. But it's okay. If you're just getting started, that's fine. Get yourself in order now. Get your business registered, get your business license, get your business certifications. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, send me a direct message. I've tried to reach out to some people as well, but send me a direct message. I will share those resources with you. So now back to this young lady once more. So tell us a bit more. I know you touched on the JJ app. I love your tagline. What is it? A healthy
vagina is a happy vagina.
It's a happy vagina. When I shared that, I can't tell how many guys responded. And first they thought it was the title for a book. One guy was like, "Oh my God, that's a good book. You should write it." I'm like,
"You have a book coming."
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna give out any ideas. You guys,
yeah,
okay.
that's in the summer.
But tell us a bit how you came up. I love that tagline. It's catchy.
Well, at first I was scared to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had all types of little weird names, but once I really did meditate. I woke up one day and I was like, I really need a cool name for this app. I need to call it something. And at the time I had no clue what it was gonna be. And for some reason, VajJ came up. And I was like, VajJ. And I kept working with it and I was like, what are we doing here? We're educating, we're training. I said, wait a minute, can we do VajJ training? So I did a survey, and like she said, people were wild, but mostly men. And they're like, okay, so where is this so I can send it to my girl, my sister, my friends? People should know about this. And I'm like, it's not even out yet. But VajJ Trainer is a trademark that I did register, and I was happy it was available.
Good.
I was very excited. I actually went through a lot of paperwork. Again, you got to go through your steps. You have to get your steps together. You have to get your business together.
Point. As you mentioned, listen, this woman is so on point. Like, she was one of those people I sat with, and I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tell her what she needs, and she was like, done, got it, check. And I'm like, and then she had her business. Guys, get your business plan.
Yeah.
Look at her.
This is my company book. It holds my business plan, my pitch deck, trademark information, resume, financials, marketing, everything that you need to know about Love and Legacy, VajJ Trainer, and VFit Sports is in here. Get your book together. You have to have, and you even talked to me about this, you have to have your business plan. I know that people try to skip over that, and I know it's a lot of work, but I've been working on this business plan for 5 years. You're going to tweak it over and over. Even when I submit it, nobody gets the same business plan.
Exactly.
Because it's always being changed. My milestones are being changed. Things are being accomplished. But the thing is, this is what keeps you like centered. You know what you're doing when you can see, like, I got my business license. I have my EIN. All these things are needed. Your state tax registration. I didn't know, because I was a woman in tech, that I get 3 years free from taxes. Just from that. These are things that I learned just from going to SCORE, SBA. And I didn't know the importance of these documents. I just was doing them. And now I know, because that's the number one thing people ask me for. That book. They want to know about the background. They want to know what is profitable. They want to know how I'm going to make money. Right. Every business, you have to do it that way. So yeah, like with the VajJ Trainer name and everything, that led to me coming up with the name and having a catchy conversation where people wanted to know. And it's interesting. They're like, what are you talking about? So they sit down and listen. So try to find a catchy name. Try to find something that's not too edgy, but it mainstream ready. And
exactly.
I'm telling you.
I love it. When she sat in my office at SCORE and she mentioned, when I heard the word vagina, I was like, do I need to close the door? I was like, wait a minute. Where is this about to go? Because I think you were talking about it first. And
I wasn't telling you what it was.
So I was like, okay, tell me, what kind of business is this? What is it? And then she said vagina. I'm like, okay.
It's all about vagina.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh boy, let me hear where this is going to go. But it's definitely a catchy name. And for those of you who are looking to start a business, a catchy name, a catchy slogan, but more than anything, do your research. One of the things, and I know we were working on like a month or two ago, and going over a grant that you were preparing for, and so I gave her some feedback on it. I was like, well, maybe you need to get some more research on this, that, and she was like, got it. And so she already had it. So guys, do your research. Know your business. Yes, you can always bring in experts. Bring the experts in, that's fine, but know your business, because this is your baby. This is your baby. Do what you have to do. Take a class. There's so much resources. We're in an age, guys, you should not be short for information. go ahead and get your business in order. Know your business, know what you're getting into, know the industry, know what experts are saying about your industry, not for the next 12 months, but also for the next 5 years. Yes, that can change, but get yourself in order, because some of you might not even, and I'm not trying to like get into the whole like, oh, this is gonna happen, but some of you never know. We can have somebody walk through this building right now, and because they're hearing us, they're like, hey, I want to invest. She has her business plan right. I didn't even know.
I don't leave home without it.
She has her business plan at her feet, just in case somebody walks down the hallway. And so you guys need to have this accessible. Know and get your pitch. You know what you're gonna say. Get your elevator pitch ready. Yes. What is your business about? Know it. Do a 30-second one, 60-second. Get yourself in order. Know what you're getting into. So I commend you on that, and I'm so glad we were able to touch on it. Now, I had some questions that came in while I was sharing on social media, and they wanted to know, because I was building up the excitement about it. Everybody's excited. Even the men sent questions in.
Good,
but I'm going to touch on 3 because we're not going to go over the time. What kind of advice would you give for women when it comes, and this is for, I believe she's on here, I can't see that far, but I believe Alpha over in the UK, London, she asks, what advice can you give on Kegel exercises?
Okay, with Kegel exercises, this is a core issue. So you need to first get your core together. If your lower body is not strong, then it's going to be very hard to strengthen the Kegel muscles. So you need to make sure you're doing your sit-ups. You need to do your leg lifts every day. Like every day, women, this is not something that is like a slacking off. This should be a part of your regimen. I get up every day in the morning. I do my leg lifts. I stretch. It's not to be seen as a tedious thing, but when you're doing your Kegel contractions, you're taking a muscle and you're working a muscle. Just like any other muscle on your body.
It's getting interesting.
Yes. So when you're working this muscle, you need to concentrate. It has to do a lot with like meditation and everything. You have to concentrate. Like your chakras, go down, and you need to focus on that area. And when you're doing the actual squeeze, you should feel it up into your belly button.
Oh wow.
That's over time you'll get that strong, and you can feel the actual contraction, and then release. Do this all day. The mobile app is going to basically be a trainer that's going to come on periodically. You can set it to be aggressive. You can set it to be mild. I'm going to try to make it to the point where the trainer, her name is Love, that's in the app. She'll call you. That'll be the aggressive part, like, hey.
So this is an automated call that you're getting.
Yeah, you'll set your, when you set up your profile, you'll have options to set up your trainer the way you would like to set it up. And there'll be text options, call options. She can email you. You can get a notification. Wow. But notifications usually get, ignored after a while. We get used to them. So we're trying to break that cycle.
Right.
So it'll be random things that she's going to learn, like, okay, this is not working for this person. Let's try this now. And you need to remember, like, when you're doing this, focus your body, like your mind on your body only. Set yourself in a private room. It's almost like meditation. Like I said, you really need to get in tune with yourself. When I work out, I like to be in tune with myself. Do it in the bathtub, do it in the car, do it at work. Whatever you're doing, contract those muscles. Another tip, ladies, never let your stomach go. This is something the app tells, and only the app tells us, do not always hold your tummy in and sit up straight. If you hold your tummy in at all times, that core is being built up.
No matter
and
what.
You're holding yourself up. As we age, our muscles weaken. You don't want that to happen, and they're gonna happen, it's inevitable. So you need to be very adamant on working your Kegel muscles. There's so many different exercises that you can do. It's the leg lifts. I have these squats that you can do. There's these jump squats you can do I'm jump squatting and I'm thinking of the Kegels, and I'm actually doing another workout inside my body as everybody's watching.
Are you working out right now while we're live? Okay.
I'm working out now. So you should always be doing it. And honestly, ladies, you do this for a couple months, and if you have a male partner, he will notice the difference. I promise you. He will notice the difference, and he's going to say, what's going on? So just get in tune with yourself. It's going to be hard at first, because if you've never, a lot of women haven't worked out. So if you've never worked out, I do understand. It's going to be hard. Start small. Just do 30 seconds then. Start small and keep building it up until you can sit there and hold it for 2 minutes. You can hold that for 2 minutes, you're good. You can put water in there and walk around, you're good. So get the app, and we're gonna have some training. It's not gonna be just through the app. YouTube will have some workout videos,
Okay.
complete routines, but you're gonna get more in-depth training in the app. But we're gonna also, because everybody won't download the app, obviously we're gonna have the other workouts available on YouTube and other platforms. Yes.
That is this is exciting. So that was a very good question.
Yes.
I didn't know Kegel was so intense.
It is. It's more intense than you actually believe. You know what? The one thing they told me when I was birthing children was Kegel. Kegel. I worked out through the whole pregnancy, Kegel through the whole pregnancy. I'm talking about the day I birthed my oldest son, I was playing basketball. No BS. I was playing basketball. I went for like a 10-mile walk, and I was feeling great when I had my kids. 4 hours later, a baby came out.
Wow.
And I had natural births. So
wow.
It's just, I listened to the doctors. And by me not having parents to guide me in this world, by the way, I'm an orphan. Don't be shame and pity party me. But because of that aspect, I asked questions because I didn't have parents to tell me things. And the doctors told me, hey, you need to get on these Kegels. That's where it started, and I took that and made it into something more.
That's amazing. Laura, your story is so beautiful. I hope you have a book coming behind it.
Yeah, there's a life book that's coming, but right now we're going to focus on all of the app and the Love and Legacy brand and, you know, the people I'm meeting. And then I have this amazing book that we're working on that's going to be like a biography of my life.
It's needed. It's needed. This is like an example, and this is why I call the show On the Cusp of Greatness. On the Cusp of Greatness. Guys, go back to your notes, wherever it is. Go back to the beginning, something that made you when you were a kid that got you excited. Go back to it because you need to go ahead and start birthing. Don't leave it alone. Don't abandon your passion. Don't abandon whatever somebody told you won't work. Go back to it because you'll be surprised. You can actually push this out, and you can do it in 2019.
Yes.
So that's an exercise that you need to go ahead and do. What is it that I could be doing outside of my 9 to 5? Because we all know nothing's wrong with 9 to 5. Because if one of my earlier books that I wrote, your 9 to 5 is where you're gonna, it's gonna sustain you. But while you're at your 9 to 5, you need to have your backup plan. You need to have another idea, something else. That can't be it because we're so much greater than we sometimes manifest. We need to do better because I'm telling you, you could create, and you see, you mentioned, I don't want to touch on it, but she mentioned that you mentioned you're an orphan. I don't want to touch on that. But look, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, what you've been through, greatness can be attached to your name. It is attached to your name, so you need to start acting like it and moving like it and operating like it. Now, the next question that someone else sent, and this one came from New York. I don't know the name, but they said, do you recommend yoni steaming?
Okay, so that's the thing that me and Zakia was speaking on, since she is the spiritualist. Our opinion, well, my opinion is, I can't speak for her, because she'll speak in a minute. We're going to get her on here.
Yes.
We're going to get her on here. My opinion is, you need to do that yourself. I just feel like if you're going to mix the herbs and do the steam.
Well, for those, maybe there's a few of them on here that don't know much about it. Do you want to?
The yoni is a vaginal steam that is created with herbs and basically natural, I won't want to say products, I want to say just, natural resources. And you sit on it, on the container or the little stool, and the steam comes up. And it's very holistic. It's a spiritual release. You're detoxing your body, but you're doing it from the womb, the most important part of a woman's body. You're starting where the womb is, in which that's where all of us women are mistaken. We're not starting where we're supposed to start. So you should do them, but my belief is you should create your own herbal mix, get your own resources together and put your own good energy. That's important. It's very important. I also think that when you don't know the types of herbs cannot be used with everybody. Some people are allergic to certain things.
Okay.
Some people might react wrong. They might have a skin sensitivity. I mean, there's a lot of things, because I have a friend, she can't put lavender on her, near her. She'll break out. So if you put that in that yoni, it's going to be a problem. So you have to ask questions.
You kind of got to know yourself.
And you need to know yourself. And if you are going to someone else, which is fine if you choose to do that,
right,
you need to know your person. Like, really know them before you, sit here and do this spiritual thing. That's with anybody. I come to her because I love her. See, I know my spiritual guy.
Zakia, is there something? Zakia, we just need to bring you on the couch. I'm just going to scoot over. We're going to bring you over here.
I've been hiding because I have on gym attire.
She wasn't expecting.
Okay.
Tell us about this.
Let's rewind. And sorry, my voice is kind of sick sounding. So to the yoni steam, I'm no professional in that field, but it's a mixture of herbs. You boil them in hot water, and then you want to put it, like some people even sit in the toilet or a bowl, and you let the steam hit your yoni. It's a cleanse. So what me and Laura were talking about earlier is, I know some dope women who sell the steam, and that's great. I'm not trying to take from their business. But before you buy these steams, you want to know who you're buying it from, know that their life is good, know that it's working for them. Otherwise, they just had an argument with their man, you're getting that energy.
Oh wow.
You're young. That's how that works.
Intense.
So I recommend doing the research and either getting your own or doing the research and reading the reviews of the person that you buy it from.
Yes.
Another thing, if you're not sure, but you are like the reviews, or you want to try from this person, get your sage, cleanse it first, and put your intentions into this thing. And that just goes all back to the spiritual thing. I could talk about that all day. But you want to set your intentions when you get this herb. And then, of course, you do want to know what's in it, which things you're not allergic to. And some people won't answer those questions because they're scared to give away their recipe. That's not your person.
Oh,
You need to know
purchase
to tell
someone-
you
Yeah.
what exactly you
exactly
have.
all the way down to the last, because you can really get messed up
from
if it's something you have a bad reaction to.
I didn't realize it was so spiritual though. I thought it was just
No,
you
it's very
sit,
spiritual.
you get
And see,
steamed
that's
up,
the thing
and you
a
go
lot of
about your
girls-
business.
No, it's
But this is like so intense. You
It's
gotta know.
spiritual. Some people may do it after a breakup and things like that. You want to cleanse your yoni, which is your vagina. Cleanse it and stop calling her, y'all. I've been hiding, but y'all won't get this. Y'all won't get this third energy. Stop calling her. So you cleanse your yoni with it, and my biggest advice is know and trust who you're getting your product from, because I don't want someone miserable who just got into a big blow up or even a breakup of their own sending me a yoni product. I need somebody happy. I need to know, okay, she's happy in her home. Her yoni's probably popping. Let me get some of that energy.
Yeah.
Or I could just make it myself.
Yeah.
So.
It's pretty interesting.
It's back to self-care.
That was it comes back around to self-care. So let me ask you a question. Quartz and rainbows, is this something that you like through your business?
I don't sell yoni things. I'm learning a lot about herbal care right now.
Okay.
So it's maybe something I may do in the future. Right now, I do know some women that sell it, and I trust them. But even with that, I love them to death. I will still cleanse it, put my own attention.
Okay, understood. Guys, make sure you follow Zakia. Quartz and Rainbows.
Quartz and Rainbows on
follow her
Instagram and Facebook.
On Instagram and Facebook.
I'll never be on Facebook.
But she don't be on Facebook. So make sure you follow her. Zakia, don't go anywhere yet. Maybe you can
I
help.
was about to leave.
No, maybe you can help
you sure?
both of you. Then the last question that came in, and this question came in actually from South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Are there any superfoods that you recommend? Either of you can answer.
I can't.
That's her. Okay, but still stay with us now. From vaginal health, any superfoods or any?
Okay, so with the foods, guys, now this again goes with your diet and what you can and cannot ingest. So disclaimer: if you're allergic, don't ingest these things. But kale is the number one.
The second person that said that.
Superfood. Yeah. Kale can be made in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's overcooked, but the nutrients in kale is really good for the vagina and the womb.
Blend it.
You can. That's fine too.
I overcook it and
Smoothies.
add a bunch of seasoning, and by the time I'm done with it, I may as well fry some chicken.
Well, it tastes good, but yeah, it's not about the taste. That's one of the foods. Another thing to eat a lot of is probably not considered a superfood, but it's fruit. You need to eat a lot of fruit, ladies. A lot of fruit. Take away sugar. I can tell you to take away sugars immediately. Sugar is not good for the vagina on any level, like no level. The natural sugars in fruits, you can get the sweetness from there, and it makes your vajayjay, pleasant. And you shouldn't have frequent issues. You shouldn't have frequent issues with what do we want to say? Conditions, vaginal conditions.
Like yeast infection.
Yes, VV, things like that. Another thing that, like you brought up the smoothies, it's really good to blend. I know some people have their ideas and stuff. I'm not an expert. I like to blend. I love my smoothies. They say nutrients increase. I don't know that. I know what works for me. So try for yourself. And like Zakia said, experiment. Experiment with the food, get different things, but you need to definitely add super green foods. Another dish that I like to make that's really, really popular is just a fresh salad. Take a fresh salad, put some carrots, all those cucumbers, put as many vegetables as you possibly can with the least amount of dressing you can put in it. Because, you know, again, you got salt, sugar, you got all that. Just a little bit, just a little dressing. But, you know, honestly, to have a healthy vagina, you have to have a healthy diet. And that is the reason why a lot of women are holding guts down. You know, they're not flat. And they're not flat because the food is being stuck in there. So the superfoods help it go through, and it helps to nourish your body and release the toxins, and that's the goal. And since the vagina is a self-cleaning system, it doesn't need help like really on the inside, but what you eat matters. It really does. So, I mean, Google, guys, I'm not an expert. I Google a lot of things too. There's some things I can't say yet because they're in the app. Yeah, we have some like little recipe things coming out, so we have to keep some things under wrap. But the recipes are going to be superfood friendly, they're going to be vagina friendly, and they're going to be very healthy, and they're going to be customized so that if you are allergic, there's going to be something in there you can get. So it'll be something for everybody.
That's amazing. That's good. And I like how you mentioned too, like, I think a lot of times we practice everything else, but we don't realize what we're putting. And even me, y'all see that I pulled this closer now that she started talking about all that. I'm like, okay. So the next episode. But it is important. I think we can do all the other stuff, but what we put in us is very important.
Yeah, very important.
So that was very good advice. Those were good questions, guys. Very good questions.
Great questions.
Yes. So let me just check to see if we're missing anything. Somebody said yogurts and fermented food. Somebody said water, and more water.
Water. Alkaline water is also good. I drink a lot of alkaline water. Alkaline water helped me through my illness. Having a balanced alkaline diet is really essential to keeping your health and your immune system, sturdy. You can't drink enough water. I know sometimes they say you can drink too much. I don't know how that's possible. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah. So I agree with that. I don't think a lot of us, we don't drink enough water. So if somebody says, I'm cleansing away all the crosses from my yoni, I don't know if that means they're using the yoni to get the crosses away from them, or I don't know what that meant, but, or they got bad yoni.
That's one of your questions.
I don't know. I want to hear more than I can maybe answer. I don't know.
Well, we'll come back and see if she'll post something else on that. But so when is this app going to be available? Because I'm sure by now we're all excited and we just want to download it now. When is this app going to be available?
It's going to be available spring 2019. We're shooting for April, target. Hopefully it doesn't go any further, but it will definitely be released in spring, either late spring at the latest or around April. But when the app comes out, we're going to send out a bunch of information. We're going to make sure everybody knows. We're going to be tagging. You're going to be so sick of us online, people. You're gonna know me. Like I'm your vagina guide, okay? I got you. So DM me at love_in_legacy on Instagram. I will make sure everybody's updated. You can sign up for a newsletter at loveinlegacy.com, which is loveinlegacy.com. We'll all stay abreast to when this is coming out. But yeah, that's the target. If for any reason it's not gonna come out, then I'm going to tell everybody what's going on. Everybody's gonna know. And it shouldn't be funding because I have so many people just interested. So that would be the least of our problems. I know, I'm taking funding if you guys have, an interest in, investing. But I'm just saying that it shouldn't be anything that causes us not to launch. I'm confident. So you guys will have it soon. And until then, just watch YouTube, watch Instagram to get tips. The JJ Trainer on Instagram. I'm always updating tips, health tips, advice, things like that to keep you right. So I got stuff for you till the app comes out.
Till the app comes out. Now you mentioned, and I want to bring it back up. I'm gonna touch on whatever that person said. You mentioned, are you looking for? I know you said you guys are good because phase 1 of funding is it that it's met or?
My phase 1 of funding is not met. So my first quarter of funding I do not have, and I'm looking for investors right now to sit down with. To get that beginning of the year funding going. The remaining of the year, I have secure funding coming through, obviously through some of these grants that you've helped me with. Those grants are really awesome, guys. You really need to get into grants.com and NIH and STTR. Those are really good avenues to go down to get funding. I'm also using Indiegogo. That's a big one. That's coming out soon. Indiegogo should hit in March. I was gonna launch it this month, but I decided to wait because the app isn't coming out yet, and I don't want anybody donating and then they don't have the app, the product. So yes, I moved the date back, but Indiegogo is an option for us, and then we also have other options throughout the city of Atlanta that, because I'm a woman in tech,
Right.
so I have some other avenues of revenue coming in. Well, not revenue, funding coming in.
Women just get access to so much. If you're listening and you are a woman, please tap into, go online, just search. If you don't know, look in your local city, find a SCORE or an SBA office so you can get help and find out what resources are out there for you, what grants are available to you, what you need to do to be able to qualify for those grants. Money out there that you can tap into, and there's help out there that you can tap into. Don't just sit on your idea. Share it with someone you can trust so that you can get help and you can at least get directed. So you can know what to do next. Now, if you're listening and you are interested in investing or partnering in some way with her app, feel free to send me a direct message. She shared her information earlier. I don't know, I guess she'll share it again before we close out. Don't miss out on the opportunity to do so, because I know this is going to be not just something that's going to be hitting in the Atlanta region. And Atlanta really needs it, because I was reading the latest statistics when it comes to STDs. Atlanta is number 4 in the nation. South Florida is is number 1 for the highest rate of new HIV infections. South Florida. So this is something that's needed on a national and then on a global scale as well. So if you're interested in being a partner in some way or somehow, if you have a skill that you feel she might need, and you can contribute in any way, I suggest you reach out to her, and now is the time to do it. Don't wait until,
it's too late.
The big networks and everybody else grab a hold of her, an opportunity to do so. And let me see, as soon as I get home, somebody says, as soon as I get home, everybody loved the yoni conversation, yes. So they're still on the yoni. Somebody says, as soon as I go home, I'm gonna do a yoni steam. Someone says it's always good to cleanse away energies from past partners and relationships. I agree with that, for sure. And we need another episode for this, because we're getting ready to close out. Alkaline diet is awesome for health, but do remember we needed to have Pete on the show too. Yes. But do remember the vagina is and should be an acidic environment. So
balance is a necessity.
Right.
You have to make sure you're checking your body. You can check your alkaline levels. Make sure they're balanced. Don't over alkaline.
That was a good.
That was a real good.
So, in closing out, I want to ask you so we have a lot of women on here. We have men too. Men, you can take from this advice. But I know a lot of women are on here and they're interested in getting their business going and their business ideas. I feel like there's not a lot of, even on my journey, I feel like not a lot of women are exactly. I have a good support team, but I feel like a lot of women miss out on opportunities to support another female. And Zakia, come back here one second. I want you.
I got my cough drop.
You got your cough drop?
She's secure.
I know this is about Laura. Zakia, you wrote a book as well, because I feel like women, we gotta support each other more, because sometimes you might feel like, oh, but it's my competition. No,
we're not competition.
We all have a little piece of something different to offer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What?
Got heels and this. Okay.
I'm not gonna call the title, but what is the title of the book? When did you drop the book? 2017?
Just recently, maybe a few weeks ago.
Is it an ebook?
It's an ebook. It's a short ebook.
A short ebook.
It's called Start Your Business, Bitch.
Is that repeat? I don't think.
Start Your Business, Bitch. That's my way of. That's my audience. They love me. They got a foul mouth.
Okay.
But it works for them.
What was the title? You have another one before it, right?
Before that is Don't Block Your Blessings, Bitch.
I didn't hear you.
Don't.
I'm sorry.
This book is amazing.
Don't block your blessings, bitch. And it just shows my little story of how I basically changed my whole mindset to get my business going. I used to bitch word and everything, how I talk to my friends. So anything you get with my business, you're gonna get me, and it works for me. Being myself, this whole business is me being myself. So it works. They're on my website, courtsandrainbows.com.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna check it out.
It's a good book.
I'm not gonna repeat the title, but I'm gonna check it out.
What's the title?
Don't block your blessings, bitch. Start your business, bitch. It's 2019. We ain't got time.
Okay.
I think that
is perfect.
But seriously, a lot of I can't tell how many women, and I try to I reach out a lot to help other people, but I feel like sometimes it's like it's not necessarily received or I don't know. But we gotta help each other out more, women. We gotta help and support each other more.
You can't. Me helping somebody is not going to block my business. Like I did in this morning. First 3 people send me their email address, get the book for free. $12 book, it's not expensive, but it's been a time I didn't have $12. Somebody that was reading that didn't have it or didn't have it to spare. So boom, it's the first of the year. Hopefully this will give you a little nudge to start your business. I don't care if you're selling the exact same thing as me. You're not going to sell it like me. We're going to have a different audience. You know, everybody
Have a different
flair.
flair.
Yeah, I'm not for everybody. Some people are going to be like, oh no. Some people are going to be like, oh, I love her. So it is what it is. You can't block your blessing. Helping someone only bring in more blessings. Like we help each other, and it just brings in more people. Like, okay, y'all need a space. Come get the space. Y'all need her. Now I'm about to go holler at her this week about these grants.
Yes.
So I would have been losing if I say, oh no, y'all gotta whatever. I would have been losing if I would have.
Thank you so much for opening up your studio to us and allowing us to come and do this episode here. I think we learned so much. What's the final word of advice for women who are looking to start a business in 2019? What would you tell them?
Like you said, first of all, we need to support each other. That's the main thing. But support yourself. My final word is do what you won't do. Meaning, tell yourself, I don't want to do this today, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. So anytime when you go out here and you make a decision to open a business, you have to follow it through. And that's the best advice. Like you have to literally get beyond your ego. Like get beyond your ego. If you don't get beyond your ego, you're never gonna get anywhere. And if you notice what we all said is you gotta clear your mind first. Mind, body, and soul has to be cleared first. So get past yourself.
Yes. Get over yourself.
And you'll I promise you'll wake up every day. I wake up feeling like a champ every day. Like you guys will see me at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm on Instagram.
She is up. We sometimes text at 5.
Yes, I'm texting now. I'm like, you up? What you doing?
You always know the people who are like on the way to something great because they're up early.
Yes.
5 a.m. I'm not saying
I had 2 hours of sleep.
You know, if you're up at another time, but
when you're saying if y'all sleep until 10, y'all whack. But we are saying that you're missing about a good solid 4 or 5 hours.
Yes.
Of peaceful hours, just uninterrupted.
Make it it's peaceful, and you can be working towards your goal. Because sometimes I gotta use those morning hours because I'm tired at the end of the day.
Right.
So we ain't saying that y'all lazy, but don't block your blessings, bitch. Is what we are saying.
Oh God. Guys,
that's what we're saying.
Thank you so much for if you're listening on the podcast. If you're listening from Apple, Anchor, whatever app you're listening from, for those of you who are on live, if you're catching the replay, my Periscope, you guys always show up and show out.
I know.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you guys for coming on. If you're listening to the podcast and you enjoyed, share with someone else because I know it will bless someone else. But not only that, subscribe, follow, and I'll let you guys share your information so they can know where to connect with you, how to connect with you before we close out.
I am www.legacy.com. Then we have www.vajjtrainer.com, VAJJ Trainer, and www.vfitsportsgear.com.
And I'm Zakia, owner of Quartz and Rainbows. So it's at Quartz and Rainbows on Instagram, at www.quartzandrainbows.com, and this little space you see here is called at Rainbow Trap House on Instagram.
At Rainbow Trap House. Somebody says
that's
a bomb book name. It caught my attention.
Thank you. That's the goal.
See how working together as women, we've created a bond already, and we literally just met each other. But can you tell?
Can you tell, guys? That was today's episode. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Make it don't sleep in this year. Just hit the ground running. When you put your feet down, the ground is supposed to tremble. In the spiritual realm, it's the devil, the enemies, whatever it is, whatever bad energy is supposed to flee because you are getting up that excited, that energetic, that ready to just put your mark in this year. So make it happen. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, I always close out saying this. Be curious, remain vigilant, and always be prepared for change because this is the year of change, guys. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
With love, you can build legacy, and legacy, you can build love.
Oh, that's her close. Do you have a closeout statement?
I sell dope shit for spiritual gangsters.
I love her.
know
And I can't wait till Pink Couch
I
Confessions.
know that she banned me from her show. But we're about to start one here called Pink Couch Confessions, and it's gonna get.
Yeah, that's gonna be raunchy.
This was good. This was pretty good. Somebody says, don't block them. I want that book. Listen, I'm going to drop the link to her book. I'm going to go back through the comments. I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to share it.
It's just a website link.
It's just, okay, so it's just a website link. So I'll drop that on there so you guys can get it. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day. Happy New Year. Celeste, Cassandra,